What up, YouTube? Deadpool420 here. Well, I'm going to try a new segment. It's called Let Me Tell Yalls, where I tell a story, possibly an anecdote even. And my first one's going to be a date with a church girl. So, let me tell yalls the time I took this girl I worked with way back in the day. I was in my very early 20s, and there's this church girl where I worked. Her name was Naomi. I know this church girl had a stripper name, but the Lord does work in mysterious ways. So, anyways, this girl, she was pretty. She was pretty as her hair and dress was long. You know what I mean? Hair down to the back of her knees and dressed down to the tip of her toes. She wasn't a bad looking girl. She did have this one thing on her face though, this big old black dot. And after asking around, I heard a couple rumors, like it was like lead from an old pellet gun shot to the face or something like that. So I don't know if it was that. I heard another one. It was like a lead pencil to the face, and the tip broke off. Because back in our day, in our pencils, it wasn't graphite. It was pure lead. You know what I mean? Don't chew your pencils back then. So anyways, I mustered up the courage to ask her out, and she suggested our first first, and it happened to be the only date, was oh, let's go to church. So, you know, being a good sport about things, I was like, oh, okay, well, all right, let's go to church. So so here's date day, and from previous videos, you guys know I live in Canada. It gets cold, the ice fish. I've been doing it for years, even back then. So date day, and here I go. I'm all ready, and I get in my car, and geez Louise, I can't find my keys. Well, I knew where they were. They're in my coveralls that I took ice fishing the day prior. And my brother was fishing that day, and he had my coveralls, and geez Louise, my keys were in it. So, all in a panic, I didn't know what to do. I was like, man, I don't want to pin out on this date, so I jammed a screwdriver in my car, and lo and behold, there was an old Chevette here. Actually, here she is right here. This I showed up to church in this gem right here with the flames on the hood, and I actually had neon lights in there. And so anyways, yeah, that screwdriver started right up. It worked. So off I go to church. I show up. I actually had this same shirt on too. It was a Bob Marley t-shirt. So here I am. I show up in a Bob Marley t-shirt for a first date at it was a Pentecostal church. So I show up in there, and man, I was surprised and shocked, and what the So first thing, the music. Whoo, the music is good, man. They got it's like a rock show. They got a band, a drummer, a singer, everything. You know what I mean? The music was pumping. Everyone's dancing. This is church, and it was like, you know, kind of rocky, good music. You know, I was bopping my head a little bit. Other neat note was people took it seriously. People like, hallelujah, praise, and some people speaking in tongues, making these convulsions, like being touched to or spoke to by the Lord. It was an experience to say the least. So, anyways, once I got through that and the weird looks of me just, I looked like I didn't belong. I had a cool as heck silk Bob Marley shirt, with a big old Bob Marley face on the front there, and yeah, so the odd looks I was getting. So church is over. We're getting to the parking lot, and oh, would you like a drive home? I offered, and she's like, sure. So here I go. I go to my car. I forget. I didn't have my keys. It was a screwdriver. So I'm jimmying the screwdriver. Is everything okay? Is everything? Yeah. No, it's fine. I do this all the time. And I couldn't get the darn thing going. It just wouldn't work. And these church people are kind. Like, oh, always help a fellow man. So here I am. This guy's like, oh, you need a hand, and I'm trying to jam the screwdriver in my car like if I sold it, and the next thing you know, there's a whole crowd around me. The whole congregation is around me, and oh my goodness, she was turning beet red. She was embarrassed. Before we were halfway done, she was already, oh, I'll just leave with my parents, and she left, and after a while, this guy left. By the end of it, it was me in the parking lot with my car and my screwdriver, and it still didn't work. I had to wait for my brother to show up to drop me off the key. So, she never spoke to me ever again, and that was my date with a church girl. At any point, if you like the story, light up that thumb, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'd love to do more Let Me Tell Y'alls, because I got a few humdingers out there, stories I could tell. So later.